Hi, if you've arrived at this presentation, you're probably a gym manager or owner, or at the very least have an interest in keeping fit. You may even be a personal trainer or a sales and marketing person for the fitness industry. But whatever camp you fall into, the information you're about to learn is the absolute essentials for a gym or a personal training business to avoid member fallout and how you can stop losing your customers to your competitors. What you're going to learn are proven ways to keep your members paying you money for longer because they are happier customers and your competitors won't even be an option to them. So if you are happy with losing any number of your customers, then I invite you to turn this presentation off now. However, if you can afford to give just 25 minutes of your time to learn this business-changing information, let's get started. So we're going to critically look at the current statistics on retention in the fitness industry and what has occurred over the past few years. We're going to discuss the 6 things your competitors already know about retention and things that you should know too. The top 4 ways to keep your members engaged. This is fundamental stuff, but I bet the majority of you are not doing them. Why personal training is so important in your gym. If you don't have personal training at your club, then you definitely want to implement it after reading this slide. Or if you do use it, maximize your current ways that you upsell it in your clubs. And how to market in your sleep. Once you get some of the systems we're going to teach you in place, you will start marketing with ease and it will no longer have to be a hard sell every time. And if you want to hang around for a couple of minutes at the end, I'll tell you all about GymBuzz and why you'll start wanting to use this service. But before we get too deep, let's create a little bit of context for you specifically, because as I said before, it's likely that we have a real variety of people watching this presentation. Now, I encourage you to write these answers down somewhere, but if it's not convenient, just keep a mental note. Why do you work in the fitness industry? Consider whether your goals are simply financial, or is there a deeper reason, such as wanting to change the lives of your members and clients, or both, hopefully. When you know the answer to this question, your roadmap to actually improving your business changes somewhat. How satisfied do you think your existing members are? Do you ever actually ask them? If you don't ever ask them and you don't know for sure, you can use your retention figures as a guide. Do you know your current retention figures? Can you think of any correlations with the services you offer and these figures? And have you already started implementing changes in your systems to address problems you've found in the past? Who is your ideal member? Do you currently have the most perfect member in mind? They're almost like a piece of the furniture that they're there at the gym so much. You probably even get about 80% of your referrals from this one person. What characteristics does this person have that makes them the most perfect member? Now, hopefully when you answered the first question, you didn't say you were just motivated by money. I remember when I started in the industry as a level 2 fitness instructor on £9,000 a year. When you earn that little, you just have to be driven forward by something a little bit more than money. Now, money is important, and the goal of this presentation is to help you hit the financial targets you have for your business by increasing member retention, having people pay you money for longer. But as a personal trainer myself, that feeling when you help someone to reach their goals is priceless. Or as a manager, you might have experienced this before when you receive good feedback about your team and your services. Those things are amazing. They can keep you smiling all day. Plus, that person is much likelier to become a member that stays with you for longer. There is actually a direct correlation between how much you can help someone and how much money you will earn in this industry. So, in the latest industry reports, we're hearing that the total market value of the fitness industry in the UK is up by 1.5% to £3.92 billion. Firstly, how much of that 1.5% increase have you seen? Did your business or your wage increase by that amount? For example, if you or your business made £100,000 in 2012, did you or your business make at least £101,500 in 2013? Next, our membership numbers for gyms in this country have increased 4.5%, which really seems great on the surface. It is certainly a good indicator to see that more of the population are exercising. But is this actually a good thing for your business? We'll come to this in a minute. And lastly, we also have more gyms than ever before since numbers of facilities have increased by 2%. Okay, so I'm painting a picture now. The powers that be in the fitness industry want you to think that there is, quote, positive growth in the fitness industry. But when you put these last two statistics together, That 4.5% increase in members is approximately 300,000 new members. If we divide that evenly between all the clubs in the country, that's just 49 new members for each gym over a 1-year period. And of course, this doesn't factor in the 119 extra clubs that opened in this same time who will likely have taken the lion's share of these people. Obviously, there's many variables, so we can't possibly have exact figures. There are people who cancel memberships and then re-sign up somewhere else, or people who own multiple memberships across different gyms. But you get the point, I hope. Basically, it's a massive tug of war for the small number of members who are joining gyms. Now, on this next slide, if it wasn't already clear, that declining red line on the graph is not a good thing. Over the past 7 years, the number of members still at their gym 12 months after joining is down 14% to only 52%. So a massive 48 out of every 100 are leaving every year. So if you're an average size club with 1,000 members and you are losing 500 each year and only getting a few dozen more, then you are constantly chasing your tail. When I first saw this statistic, I was shocked. I mean, imagine if 1 in 2 purchases that happened in retail resulted in a customer never visiting again, or even worse, returning the product. When I discuss these facts with gym owners and managers in person, usually one of 2 things happens. They tell me that their numbers are better than these, or they go very quiet and admit that their business has declined pretty much on par with the industry average for the last 7 years. Obviously, in this presentation, it's not possible to survey you all, but from the conversations we've had, there are far more businesses in the second category. And on further analysis as to the reason this is happening in their clubs, you can see the difference in the businesses is clear as the light of day. So, to further illustrate this point, because for some it might still not be clear, on average, every single year, half of your customers will be in the gym, happily doing bicep curls and squats, and then the other half are gone. Plus, we'll have to create another presentation sometime about all the problems your members are going to have if they are squatting with that technique. So, what are some of the things you can do to try and improve retention and stop losing your customers? We're going to find out in the next few slides whether your numbers are better than this average, the same or lower. If you have high hopes for your business and you want to increase your numbers, then let's keep going. Okay, so the 6 things your competitors know about member retention, and you should too, if you want to have any chance of competing with them. Some of them are more obvious than others. Did you know that 63% of people use the internet as the first resource when looking for a local service? When I saw this, I had to check and reread it, but the interesting point is that 63% of people use the internet first. The remaining 37% of people could well be using the internet as their second resource. So the first thing your competitors know is that you absolutely have to have an online presence. Number 2, 70% of all purchases are done after people consult online reviews. Again, a fairly huge number of people are checking out reviews before they buy. I think whether it's holidays, books, restaurants, gyms or personal trainers, people are increasingly realising that life is too short and money is too tight to waste any of it. With this increased usage of the internet by your customers and potential customers, you have to use it more as well, or they simply won't be able to find you. These next 2 stats say a lot, not only about the fitness industry in general, but quote-unquote salesmen and saleswomen. 75% of people don't believe companies tell the truth in advertising, and 92% of people have more confidence in online reviews than they do anything told to them by sales staff. So be very cautious when you're spending your marketing budget. It might not be a simple decision to simply focus all of your attention on extra sales staff and glossy ads. What about making your current members happy so they write you some glowing reviews? Probably a much better usage of your finances and a lot cheaper too. This isn't on the slide actually, but a happy customer will tell 4 to 6 people about their experience. That's almost free marketing right there, done by the people who your future customers will actually listen to with more credibility. Number 5, you can't possibly make your customers happy if you don't give them a way to share their feedback with you. It is essential for all gyms and personal trainers to create a culture of feedback within your businesses. You can see the stat here that 96% of unhappy customers will never even tell you. It could be a fear that they will sound silly, not wanting to waste their time because historically they haven't had their problem solved, or there might just not be a way for them to tell you. But of course, if a customer is leaving your business, and we now know that 48% are leaving each year, then they are unhappy. Make them all know that you want to hear their problems and you want to solve them. This brings us back to the very first question of why are you in the fitness industry? Is it just financially driven, or do you genuinely want to help people? You don't have to meet a customer's expectations first time, but if you create this culture, you at least have a chance of fixing issues because you will know about them. Plus, when someone has a negative issue turned to a positive, they are far likelier to repurchase than if they were indifferent to your services from the beginning. Number 6, by actually solving people's problems, you can both make more money and help more people to improve their lives through fitness. It costs 6 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer than it does to retain an existing one. So investing in your customers could well be the best money you spend. Okay, so how can we keep members engaged so that they don't end up being the 1 in 2 who leave each year? Well, first of all, the stats show us that when a gym member joins, if they're initially enrolled in a fully comprehensive induction plan, there is a 35% greater retention rate than if they simply have a standard 1-session induction. I know there are also many gyms out there nowadays who offer memberships that include no induction at all, so you can imagine the problems that we have with this. Members genuinely want your guidance. It's very few people who want to just turn up at a gym and do their own thing. And even if they do just want that, remember, you are the experts in fitness. You could even help the people who don't want inductions if you positioned your induction program attractively in the sales process. Encourage people to train more. This one is fairly obvious. 10% more members will still be with their gym a year later if they train 3 times a week from the beginning. Quite simply, these people are getting better results. And when someone is actually seeing a response from their efforts, they will continue. Very on in my career as a personal trainer, someone said to me, "How many times a week do you let your clients train?" I said, naively, as many as they want to, which meant sometimes once a week, sometimes 2, 3, whatever. He then said, "Well, how many times a week do you train? You obviously like fitness." I said, "Probably 4 or 5. Immediately from here, I recognised the problem, why some of my clients would get results and some wouldn't. I was doing my clients a huge disservice by allowing them to train only a couple of times instead of what they should have been. I'll say it again, members need guidance. Tell them that they need 3 times a week, and the stats show they will continue with the healthy lifestyle for longer than if they don't. There are businesses out there using the model of allowing people to train on day passes once a week or once a fortnight. You now know that not only will these people not get results, but they're also unlikely to become long-term customers of yours, and they are a wasted lead into your business. You could do so much more to help these people. Number 3, smile. One of the top ways to keep your members engaged is not simply by offering them great results, getting them hooked into your service, but it is to actually acknowledge that they exist. Interacting with members 4 times during their visits each month increases their chances of returning next month by 80%. So consider the actual results your members want. Some do want to have an overall physical transformation or reduced back pain or better fitness, but some do see it as an extension of their social life and to go somewhere with a friendly smile, to enjoy a chat with their friends, to have receptionists smile at them, to have their name remembered by gym staff. These things count as well. The fitness industry, as I mentioned above, with a trend towards more pay and play day passes, has become frightened of contracts. Do not be frightened to sign people into a longer term contract. Members will remain members 42% longer if they purchase a 12-month contract versus a 1-month contract. The rationale here is, of course, that they are much more inclined to use something that they are definitely paying for the next 12 months, further improving their results, and the cycle of turning this into a lifelong habit continues. But the little caveat here is that you must over-deliver. If this person is paying for a 12-month contract, give them so much value from their membership. New programs, new equipment if you need it, clean facilities, helpful, friendly staff, a way of giving feedback to you if they have issues. Because otherwise they'll be hooked into a 12-month contract, fed up after 3 months, you won't let them leave their contract, and then they'll have an even worse image of your business. Now, why is personal training so important to this model? Almost every gym nowadays does have some kind of personal training, but if you don't, then you should. Personal training clients remain members for 60%, yes, 60% longer than those members who don't use personal training. Sometimes, depending on your demographic and the level of market you work with, you need to be creative and offer varying levels of price. But it's all possible, even if, for example, you split the cost and create small group classes, or even simply rebranding your fitness inductions as a personal training starter package. There are lots of ways to do this, and let us know if you want more specific tips for your business. Okay, this is the exciting bit most people have been waiting for: how to market in your sleep. Life is so busy nowadays, with more and more noise we have to break through each day, and more things added to our to-do list. After a little setup of some new systems, you will add another form of lead creation for your business, and it will run without you. Firstly, use a website to market yourself that is specific to the fitness industry. New customers prefer to see the authenticity of a gym aligned with experts in their industry. Facebook is great, Twitter is great, but if you were looking for a hotel, would you go to TripAdvisor or Twitter if you wanted to find out more about it? So I've mentioned above about the model of accepting members in just on a pay and play basis, and how this doesn't really serve to improve the lives of the people visiting you. It's down to us to tell them what they need, and they need to train more regularly and become invested in the process. However, there is a time when day passes or trials are okay. People do want to try before they buy sometimes. However, ensure that you have systems in place to educate these people when they come in and to actually sign them up afterwards. Not leaving them to their own devices would be a good call too. As I've said, when people have a comprehensive induction, they're much more likely to stay as a member at your club for a longer period of time. Give your members an online platform to give feedback. The traditional model of comment cards is not only becoming outdated with technology growing as it is, but studies show people are more likely to be honest in their feedback in an online review versus something offered within the business. And it is honest feedback that you want. Plus, having an online platform to do this from also improves your appearances on the search engines like Google. And we said this very early on in the presentation, 60% of people and up are looking online first for a local service. So once you've set up this system, you have your existing members marketing for you without the initial need for your involvement. Finally, be sure to follow up with your members after you hear their feedback. Thank them for their positive comments and discuss with them the constructive comments. Okay, I know we've talked about a lot of things, but how many are you already doing? If you're already doing them all, I have no doubt that your retention figures reflect that. Congratulations. If there are some that you're missing out on, again, I'm sure there will be a drop in your retention as a result. If you're doing none of them, well, now you've got a roadmap on how to solve the issue of losing customers to your competitors. Lastly, before I conclude this presentation, I just want to take a couple of minutes to discuss GymBuzz and what we can do for your fitness business. We are a review website for gyms and personal trainers, offering a place that your members and your clients can easily leave their experiences of working with your business. We care about quality, not just cutting your prices, cutting your services and getting more bums on seats and worsening the average retention rate for the fitness industry. We want gym goers to find their perfect fitness fix for them, and we want quality gyms and personal trainers to be recognised and rewarded with an improved business. Memberships do work when people use them. We want to get not only lots of members for you, but lots of high quality members who stay with you for years to come. And we want to help you give your members exactly what they need and want. We believe that this online platform for your members to leave their comments is literally the best possible form of market research you could ask for. There is no guesswork as to what you should be doing to improve your service. Simply ask your existing members to tell you. This is free, and as all of the statistics we've shown you today prove, the most effective way of keeping these people as your future members. So if you want to gain more recognition for the good work you're doing in the fitness industry, and as a result gain more qualified leads, GymBuzz offers a free listing and consultation service for your gym or personal training business. Simply visit gymbuzz.com and either search for your gym and claim your listing on screen, or add your business to our database. One of our fitness experts will be in touch with you to help you to make the most of our service. So what's next? Well, after claiming your listing, you should share your listing page with your members and clients, simply asking for feedback. Again, once you've claimed, our consultants will talk you through the best way to do this. Then integrate the culture of feedback into your systems. If you have email interaction with your members on a regular basis or just after joining would be a good time, be sure to include links to your GymBuzz listing page and ask for feedback at all times. And finally, the only thing that is going to keep your members happy forever, listen to what they want and help them to get the best possible results of their lives. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to helping you to gain recognition and qualified leads for your fitness business.